Today is the big day, the last day for you to vote, and I want to encourage you to do so instead of getting overconfident. There's like an old martial arts rule about how the surest way to lose a fight is to go in overconfident. If you think that President Trump is going to win, you'll be one of the reasons that he doesn't, because you'll be one of the millions of people potentially who just won't show up and vote. I know that President Trump should win in a landslide, but that doesn't happen unless people actually go out and vote. Don't get complacent. I know that we've seen the rally sizes, we've seen the massive Donald Trump rallies, and we've seen the tiny, Joe Biden. Is that called a rally or just a parking lot? I don't know, but we've all seen those. I can understand why someone would get confident, but if those people who show up at the rallies don't vote, if you don't vote, well, then we'll have Joe Biden and, more accurately, a Kamala Harris presidency. I don't think any of us want that. So encourage your friends and family to vote too, and by encourage, I mean drag them to the polls with you. I know that not all Republicans are perfect. Heck, I know about the rhinos, I've talked about them for the last couple of years. Right now, though, it's not the time to worry about that so much. The primaries are already over. That's why we choose the best Republican for the job. What we now have to compare are the Republicans better than the Democrats? Ultimately, that's what you're choosing. And the answer is unequivocally yes. Because the Democrats are absolutely crazy. They're not just crazy, they're the party of what? Degeneracy, of taking away your rights, and I mean that in regards to both gun rights, the right to freedom of speech, the right to freedom of assembly, the right to freedom of religion. They're after it all, and at the same time they promote things that are like third trimester abortion at this point. They promote tyranny, they promote the ability of executive orders to simply mean everything that a law can mean. In other words, they want to bring kings back to the United States of America. We've never had kings here, and I don't think we want it. They're the party of Christian persecution at this point. I mean, seriously, you know this. If you've been watching my videos for the last couple of years, you know all of this. And my point is, the Democrats are that bad that it's almost like if you've got a Republican standing, vote for the Republican, because that's how bad the Democrats are now. And even if you think that we're going to win, we don't just need a victory. We need a landslide. And the reason for that is because, unlike any other election in history that I can think of, we have Democrats saying that no matter what, basically, they're going to come to fight this in the courts and they're going to drag it out for days afterwards, which means that the potential for voter fraud is going to be especially high. They're going to refuse to accept the results of the election, even more so than they did for the last 4 years. You get my point, right? We need a landslide. We need this whole election to be a referendum on socialism, on communism, on the Democrat Party, and on their, degeneracy, I suppose. We need to tell them and their colleagues in the university system and their colleagues in the media system that they're not welcome in this country, that what they do is not liked, nor is it socially acceptable. Now, if you waited until the last day to vote, be aware there could be long lines. If you're in a big city, there will be long lines. But do it anyway, even if it takes hours of you standing outside, because it's worth it. I mean, if you waste the whole day, sorry, I shouldn't say waste, if you spend the whole day, it will be worth it. That one day could determine our futures. Just prepare for the worst, prepare for things to go wrong, prepare for you to feel sick, for the weather conditions to be awful, for you to be standing out there for hours. So take everything that you can to plan ahead, go as early as possible just in case there are interruptions that you can't foresee. Take some food, some snacks, take one of those pop-up chairs like you do when you're going to watch a baseball game at your college or whatever. Take some coffee if you want. Take an umbrella for the weather. Do everything that you can to make sure that you can vote. And it's not just about the national election. The local elections are the ones that are most likely to impact you directly in your real life. Whether it's, judges or mayors, governors, all of these different positions, well, they have authority to, they actually have more authority now than they ever were supposed to, but they can impact your life in really big ways. So do get out and vote. I've done all that I can do, and I'm asking you to do your part to save America.